Good evening, everybody. It's Carol Maletta from the Parenting 411, where we share information parents need from sources they can trust. We've got another edition of News You Can Use tonight. And as you know, I've been really looking forward to this because I think it really is news you can use. Tonight, I'm going to be speaking with Charmine Davis. She is the creator of the JUSTUS App. It is a live stream enabled app that allows people who are in an encounter with law enforcement to alert people in their network that they are in a situation with police, just so that someone else knows what's going on. And again, as I said, it's live streamed so they can see what's going on. And this is very important. I think a lot of people, particularly in Black and Brown communities, are concerned about their encounters with police. So it is really, really timely that she has come up with this. So I'm about to bring her on because I want her to tell you the story behind it. And, you know, when we wrap up, I want her to let you know how you can get it. So let me welcome her right now. So, Charmine, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. And so tell us a little bit about yourself and the work you do when you're not out here creating phenomenal apps.
I am a clinical psychotherapist, and I work for a domestic violence organization. And I pretty much serve underprivileged communities. I do psychotherapy to folks who normally wouldn't have access to mental health care.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And of course, I'm a mom.
Okay. All right. And how did you come up with that?
You know, it came, and I laugh about this all the time because it really came out of fear. It did. You know, we have it's since the beginning of time we can say we've had these experiences, but you know, several years back there was a time when you couldn't cut on the news without seeing someone being killed, right? Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it was interactions with law enforcement. And, you know, and it just creates a fear inside of you, especially if you're a parent, a mother. You know, we are very emotional about our babies. Mm-hmm. And so my children were getting bigger, and I know the conversation around wanting to go with their friends, and especially the driver's license issue came up with my son. He wanted his driver's license. And I couldn't breathe when he wanted to talk about that. And it should have been a time when we could celebrate, right? Mm-hmm. Him wanting to get his license, the fact that he wanted to take the initiative to do these things. And so I kept stalling. And I said, you know, I was telling my son, I said, you know, you need the social, and mommy can't find it right now. I kept making up all these stories for him why I couldn't get this. He mm-hmm. couldn't go and get this license. And mm-hmm. he walked in the house one day. And this is my son. He walked in and he goes, "Mom, guess what? I got my social." And my heart just wow. dropped, right? It was like this time when I should have been celebrating for him, I was just stalling getting this driver's license. And he walks in and says, you know, let's go and do this. So I reached out to Candace Walker, who is just phenomenal. She had worked on other apps that I knew about, and she was really great. And we just, you know, it was just I knew we needed something. I needed a way to stay connected to my children. I knew other mothers of colors were having the same issues, right? Mm-hmm. I always talk about the movie American Son with Kerry Washington, because I don't know that it could be portrayed any better than that movie, with her not knowing where her son was, and mm-hmm. the fear that he talked about, how she would go to his room and just listen to him breathe, because you never know when that last day is that you might not see your son. And mm-hmm. And I kind of got together, and I told her what I wanted and my desires, and we worked together and made it happen.
Wow. So you were working on the app just as your son was getting his license.
I knew that was coming because we had already had these conversations, and I know it's just, so I wanted something that I kept trying to think, how can I stay connected to my children, right? Mm-hmm. When they're away for me, how can I know the biggest fear, and this is the mother's kind of biggest fear, is that her child is going to be in a situation and she cannot get to them. So
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think, how can I stay connected with them? How can, if my son, and I have other children, my daughters, and it's for all of them. It was just my son who really sparked this because he wanted to be out, which is it's
Mm-hmm.
that man's, it's natural. Men want to go out and they want to learn things about the world and they want to, get into this space where they become men. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, how can I be in a space where I can be comfortable, where I don't have to be afraid, that I know that if my child reaches out to me, if he's in trouble, he can take that last initial, I can know where he is, right? He can
Right.
somehow send me a signal. And when I first started talking about this, a couple of people in my family, they were like, signal, like the Batman and Robin send out a signal. And I'm like, yes, how can I get this signal to let me know that he's in trouble? And then it helps folks. You see all these videos with men struggling with the police. I think if they knew someone is coming, I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be okay. So now I can just put my hands behind my back. I can do the things that they want me to do because I'm not fighting for my life right now because I know someone is on their way. And so that's where the idea came from.
Mm-hmm. So, was it ready in time for your son to start driving regularly on his own?
Candace made it happen for us. She did.
Wow.
Like I said, he walked in there with that driver, with that social, and I'm like, Candace, oh my gosh, and it took about a year, but she worked and we collaborated and we got it done.
Yeah, and you make a very good point about how it provides some security because, I mean, young people, a lot of them, certainly in this generation, they are very attuned to their rights and they feel like, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong. Why do I have to show you my license or why do I have to get out of the car? They really want to question.
Right.
They really have this sense, this really righteous indignation when they are challenged, right? And so now, as you said, because of this app, they can go ahead and comply and know that if anything is out of order, anything that is done that is not proper protocol, now they can file an action against that particular police officer. And I've attended forums on this whole thing about the encounters with the police with our Black and brown children or Black and brown teens in particular, and that's what even the police officers who participate in these events say, that the important thing is just to get through it, even if it seems unjust to you. And that's what parents say as well. We just want you to come home. We'll take action if action needs to be taken, but the important thing is for you to come home. And as I said, the police officers say it's very important to go ahead and file a complaint, because a lot of times I think that we feel like, well, that's just how they treat us, and I made it home, and so that's the end of it. But they urge you to file a complaint because it does. It may not get rid of the officer immediately, but if they add up, then they would have the means to fire that person, and that's what they need. I mean, because they, a lot of police forces and police chiefs, they know they have bad apples in there, but you gotta get them out. It's hard to get them out. So.
And I am in no way against police. I'm not. I think
Right.
it's a tool that can help us all, right? You
Mhm.
can help a cop that's saying, no, I did this. Because once you alert that, hey, I'm in trouble, folks, that's the way it's designed, that folks will come out and you will have every angle covered. And I have to say that I know the point is to make it home, right?
Mhm.
But I think a lot of the fight is not so much that I know my rights, I know this and I know that. I think they're really sometimes afraid of what's going to happen if their hands are behind their back, right? If you put handcuffs on me and you see so many videos and so many things that you see have happened, what happens to me when I'm defenseless and I can't help myself?
Mhm.
And sometimes that's the reason that folks will fight. It's in
Yeah.
us. It's that,
Right.
fight or flight is there. And I think the app will really help them to understand that, someone that loves me is coming. I know whatever's going to happen to me, I'll make it through it because someone will be here shortly. And I think it'll help everyone.
So let's tell our viewers how it works. Like, so from the moment that you realize that you're about to be in an encounter with the police,
Right.
and you have this app, what do you do?
So it's three modes. So you have check-in as well, because a lot of teenagers or young adults, they don't want to take the time to go and text, especially their moms. So they just push the little button that says check in. This just lets me know you're okay, that I don't have to worry, that I can go to sleep because you're okay. If you're in a car, for instance, and you're getting pulled over, or you feel like something is happening, you could put heads up. That means you're alerting me that there is a potential problem. Now I'm standing by. Now I'm on alert. If you're in a car, for instance, and let's say you show your license and it's voice activated, so you don't have to go reaching for your phone, getting shot or anything like that. You would just say, sorry, just us help, or just us heads up, or whichever one you want. If you say, sir, and the cop is asking you, okay, let's get out, because things can happen really, really fast, real time. So Surrey help, and it just activates, it alerts those folks in your contact, but it alerts when you say help, it alerts people within a 2 or 3 mile radius, and that I'm in trouble and I need someone as a witness here, right? It's the community coming together. That's what it's supposed to be. And that's the good part about it, is that you don't have to dig for your phone. You say it, and it live streams. And even if it doesn't, let's say it live streams, the phone gets knocked off, you don't see it, it's still recording. And the person, once it says help, the person now already have you pinged. They know where you are. So they're already on their way, whether the phone gets knocked away or not, they're already on their way.
So what has your user feedback been so far?
Again, it came out of my own fears. It came out of my desire to stay connected to my children and help other mothers like myself. But I've gotten so much feedback from other situations. A woman, young lady in college, said that it was so helpful for her. And she, and it wasn't about police. It was just that it was nighttime and so I've gotten really, really great feedback, especially from moms saying that I feel so at ease now when my children leave the house. And so I've really gotten really nice feedback from this app.
And I'm wondering also if you're hearing from really just adults. I mean, it's not just the young folks that can use this app. Have there been many people that are older that are just concerned about getting into an encounter with the police that are using your app?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's not just for sons, it's not just for moms. But I get so many emails. Like I received these emails recently from men, and they're just emails asking me, when will it be on Android? They really wanted me to put it on Android, but from wives saying, I feel so much safer, even for my husband to be out. So it's all around whether someone's in a car, whether they're walking down the street. I've just been getting such positive feedback that it's putting people at ease, because they know that the community around them will be there in their time of need, and their loved ones can be notified in a split second. I need your help. Here I am.
Right. And so you would kind of identify these people in advance. Is that how it would go? For our viewers, how would you do that? I mean, establish your network of who you want to get these notifications.
Absolutely. So you have 5, kind of like your fave 5. So you have 5 people that you would put in, and these 5 people will be notified when you send out a help. So it could be any 5 people you want. And then, but also when you signal a help, people within a certain mile radius, they're on their way as well. But your 5 contacts will be definitely on their way, because they'll get that alert.
But now, who would the other people be, outside of the 5?
Anyone who has the app that is in the radius of where you are.
Mm-hmm.
If they get that ping on their phone, they know, hey, someone really close to me needs my help, needs me to go and be a witness for them. They would get that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And your network, so your network needs the app as well. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And so let me see. I want to shout out some people that are watching with us. Nakia Maxwell, thank you for joining. You've gotten some feedback from one. Barbara Curtis, she says she loves this app. And yeah, so that's great. So we've got some satisfied customers here already. So has there been any, because you made a very important point, and I think a lot of us feel this way, that we're not against the police
Yeah.
and law enforcement, but we just feel like, because of what we've seen, the stories, high profile stories, and even little known stories where things have gone wrong for people in the Black and brown community when they come into contact with police. So have you heard anything, any words of encouragement and support, or has there been any pushback or any concern with the law enforcement community in response to this app?
I have not had a lot of pushback or any information from law enforcement. I do know a few people who are a part of law enforcement, and they like the idea because and when I explain it to folks, they understand. So it's not about being any anti-police or anything like that. It's keeping us all safe in our community. So police are a part of our community, right? So we want to make sure that everyone is safe, and that's what this app does.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that we have our community has put our safety and our peace of mind and all of that in the hands of others for so long. Is this time? It's time for us to put our health and our safety in our own hands. And this is a way I feel like police and everyone can work together, because you're going to have folks to come out and be able to see all sides of what's going on in these encounters, and it keeps everyone safe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right about that. How can we get the app? How much does it cost, and all of that?
So the app is free to download. In order for it to begin to live stream and things of that nature, it's either $4.99 a month or $49 for the whole year. And it's in the iOS store. We don't have it in the Android store yet, but we're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And just it's in the store. You just download it and have your family and friends and whoever, especially the folks that you want in your contact, you just
Mm-hmm.
have them download it, and it's that easy.
Wow. Wow. Well, as I was saying to Candace, when I saw it late last week, I immediately, told my husband and my sons. I was like, I think we all need to get it. So what's next for the JUSTUS app? I know that you're going to make it available for Android users. What kinds of other things are you doing around it, in terms of whether it's informing more people about it, or you're thinking about the next version, or whatever? What's next?
And I have to say that related to your last comment about your whole family having it, the more people that download this app, the safer we'll be, because when that help goes off, depending on how many people in that radius have the app, that's what the safety is gonna be. And so in
Mhm.
terms of what's next, we're just looking. We want to get into the Android store, because we have so many people writing us all the time asking us, when are we going to go into Android store? When are we going to get it there? We are collaborating. I want to try to have legal help for folks who get into altercations
Hmm.
with unjust altercations with police. I'm trying to see how to tie in mental health help with it. So we're working on a few things.
Okay. And you bringing up mental health, I actually wanted to go into that a little bit, because again, as you said in the beginning, you are a mental health clinician. So I was wondering, over the past year and certainly last Wednesday, what are you seeing? What are people worried about? What are they thinking about in the community you serve?
And with everything that's going on right now, and you have all the social justice stuff going on, political stuff going on, this whole pandemic, folks
Mhm.
are worried. And that was
Mhm.
another reason that the app, I think, came out in this time that we could really utilize it because, with so much protesting going on.
Right.
Folks are getting lost in crowds or whatever. And I think the app was really great for that, letting
Hmm.
people know, hey, this is where I am, because it pings right where you are when you hit the button. But I
Mhm.
think we'll have to, everyone is full of anxiety right now. And it's just so much going on. And I just think we need to take time, take deep breaths, do breathing exercises, and really just stay present, stay healthy
Mhm.
at home as much as we can, which that has seemed to be isolation. I was reading one article where the doctor was saying how social isolation is, it's causing so much depression. So
Mhm.
we just want to stay present, and we want to let this new way of living, until it turns back into the old way. We want to let this new way of living work for us, right? Reach out, make new connections, enjoy the kind of connections that we can make with forums like this, just being
Mhm.
informed, and just know that things are getting better. And
Mhm.
they're going to get better. I mean, I think I can see that things are going to get better, with the whole election process. And we want to just kind of focus on some of the positive things that are happening right now, and
Mhm.
keep that anxiety down.
Mhm. Mhm. Do you work with certain age groups? Do you work with young people as well as adults?
Mhm. I do. I work again at a battered woman organization, a domestic violence organization. So we
Mhm.
see families from little children to older. We see families.
Mhm.
Anyone dealing with domestic violence is not just women. It's sometimes men with their children or women with their children.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow. So it's a shelter or
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
Okay.
shelter. Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else that you would like us to know about the JUSTUS app or just a concern in the community that you would just like to amplify at this point?
At this point, I say download the app. The more people that have it, the safer we are. I say that things can get better, but we have to be present and help them get better. If that means staying in the house to help COVID go down, you know what I'm saying? Not
Mm-hmm.
folks. You have certain supporters that are causing trouble around the country. Not get into confrontations with these people. Just work on us making our community stronger and better. And
Mm-hmm.
just know that the Justice app is, I always say, it's made for us by us, because you have other apps that may do similar things. But this
Mm-hmm.
this is something that was made for us by
Mm-hmm.
us. And
Mm-hmm.
we're working to make it better every day. Like I said, we're trying to incorporate collaborating with to have legal help for people, a way
Mm-hmm.
for people to reach out for mental health help. We're really working, but I want this to be a tool that unites our community, that makes us have a sense of calm, because we have one tool at least that can, bring us together and have us work together.
Right, right. And I think we should definitely, have people it certainly does a lot of good even in our community, in the Black and Brown community. But those of us that have friends who have really, especially, a lot of people in the wake of George Floyd and all that's going on, there are a lot of allies outside of our community that are starting to, that are becoming aware and want to join the cause. So, bring them into our networks as well, like, and urge them to download as well, because you never know when um, they might be within 5 miles or whatever, and could come to a situation. So that's also good as well. Tell everybody how they can connect with you, how they can follow you, so that they can stay on top of any new developments with the app or anything that you are doing.
So Just Us, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, and we have our website. And I don't want to say the Just Us app, the wrong information for the Instagram. I think it's I don't I can't
It's
it's
the JUSTUS app.
the Just Us app
Uh-huh.
for Instagram, and I think the same thing for Facebook. And it's info at Just Us for the website. I think she's putting it in here. Yeah, the Just Us app for Instagram, and Facebook is the Just Us app. I mean, Just Us app.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I
we
mean,
also, people when they write or email us, we reach out to them as soon as we get it.
mhm.
So anywhere you reach, and we love the feedback. And the website is the email is info at justusapp.org. And we love the feedback, and that's how you make things better. We get information from our community, and we see what we need together, and that's what we try to make happen.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for your time this evening. I just a very important app, and just a significant tool that we can use in our community to help help our community to feel more comfortable when they have encounters with law enforcement. So thank you again for your time, and I wish you much success with the next phase. It definitely sounds like you were thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead on this, and that's great. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
Mhm.